Welcome to Seton Catholic Preparatory's Senior Recognition. Tonight, we are honoring 5 volleyball seniors and their parents. As seniors, they have taken a leadership role in school and dedicated their time and talent for the senior community. Their parents have also played a very important role in their lives. They have motivated them to excel in the classroom, encouraged them to be outstanding citizens, and cheered them on during competition. But first, we'd like to recognize and congratulate the seniors from Cicero Prep. They are Max Holden, Dane Stevens, Adam Myers, Oliver Becker, Trip Cochran, Melvin Bindola, Grantham Smith. Wow, we got a lot of seniors. Hunter Martosha, Aviram Becerano, Ty Erickson, Alessandro de los Santos, Connor Collins. Where is it? Now, for our Seton Catholic Preparatory Sentinel Seniors. Here tonight we have Lucas Cernecca with his mom, Jenny, and brother Charlie. Lucas is a 4-year member of senior volleyball. 4-year member of Seton Volleyball. He's a member of the Seton Volleyball Club, plays ice hockey, pickleball, golf, ping pong. His best memory was going to Canes after a reverse sweep of Horizon Honors his freshman year. And next year, Lucas plans to play club ice hockey and study pre-med at Grand Canyon University. Let's hear it for Lucas. All right, next we have Jacob Howe, and he's here tonight with mom and dad, Ryan and Ann. Jacob is a 4-year member of Seton Volleyball and a member of the National Math Honor Society. His favorite volleyball memories are the bus rides to the games. After graduation, Jacob plans to study mechanical engineering at ASU. Let's hear it for Jacob. And next up, we have Diego Kubasak here tonight with mom and dad, Cynthia and Tim. This is Diego's 4th year with Seton Sentinel Volleyball. He also plays basketball and was a member of the ping pong club. His favorite team memory was going to Canes after a reverse sweep of Horizon Honors. Next fall, Diego will be at Mesa Community College at the EMT program. Let's hear it for Diego. Next up is Kyle Oppen. Kyle Oppen. Kyle is accompanied by mom and dad, Robert and Karen. This is Kyle's third year with Seton Volleyball. He's the founder and co-president of the Physics Club, a member of the National Honor Society, including Math, English, and Science Honor Society. My Lord, his best team memories are all the bus rides to away games after graduation. Kyle plans to major in finance in the honors program at Villanova University. Let's hear it for Kyle. All right, last but not least, we have Cole Erwiller here with this evening. Here this evening with mom and dad, Chris and Melissa. Cole is a 4-year member of Seton Volleyball, as well as House Executive Committee Speaker of the House, Student Ambassador, Hope Squad, National Honor Society, and wait, Kairos Retreat Leader. He's also earned department awards for theology, personal finance, and Mandarin foreign language, Student of the Month twice, honor roll, first honors all 4 years. Ladies and gentlemen, let's hear it for Cole. And now to our senior athletes. Remember this moment and know that each of you has made an incredible impact on your team and to the Seton community. On behalf of Seton Catholic Preparatory, we want to say congratulations, God bless, and best of luck in the future. A round of applause for the 2025 Seton Seniors! Senior athletes, we appreciate you so much. Cicero and Seton Catholic are members of the Arizona Interscholastic Association and abide by the rules and regulations that are set forth by their association to maintain high standards of conduct, competition, and relations with member schools.
You can pause because they're not lined up to do anything. I would just, yeah. You have to line up to do like.
we have aggressively pursued the fruition of our vision for Seton Catholic for when we celebrate our 75th anniversary in 2029. Our historic campus is almost completely renovated. Our Founded in Faith, Building on Excellence campaign for a new event center is equally as important for our vision. Our current gym has been stretched to its limits with assemblies, liturgies, PE classes, community events, and athletics. Because the space is used for so many things, critical events like hosting the sacred mass have to be set up right before and taken down directly after.
If you got assigned to be the one that was setting up mass, it was just a nightmare, having to roll out the carpet and set up all the chairs and do everything. The thing that I noticed the most that was like super limiting about that was the sense of reverence in this space.
The weight room's been nice, but it'll be nice to have the extra space. I mean, there's just not enough room to do everything. So a lot of times we end up just working out, outside.
It's a small room, and we only have a small area to work out in.
The weight room not being the biggest, and once again having to share with all the other teams has been hard.
We only have a 30-minute time frame between when practice ends and when school starts, so all of us kind of run to the locker room or bathroom because there's not a lot of space in the locker room. It's really frantic in the morning.
From a volleyball standpoint, we don't even use the locker room. There's just not enough room for us.
Yeah, so being in the locker room when everyone's in there, like volleyball has a freshman, JV, and varsity team that's around 12 girls a team. It's a lot of people in one small space.
There's not enough room for all of us in there to store our stuff or just to get ready.
Sometimes it's more convenient to just change in your car or go home.
When you're trying to accommodate 40, 50, 60 kids in this space, it's just difficult.
Until maybe 10:30, 11 o'clock at night because it's really difficult to find time.
Time practices would have to be cut short during the season because we have the basketball team coming in after us.
Basketball, having to share the gym with in season the girls team, and we have 3 different levels, obviously freshman, JV, and varsity, and there's days when all 3 teams have to practice at the same time.
It's slow getting my season off to a start, which means we're starting practice at about 8 o'clock.
It's only allows for 1 season, and like when we're off season, we would love to have some gym time.
A lot of times our kids are coming home at 8:30 at night, and it's they have a couple hours of homework, so it gets to be very difficult to manage from that perspective.
For a year-round sport, we always kind of get the last pick of where we want to practice and everything, so we do end up having to wake up at 5:30 every morning.
Basketball in there 3:30 to 5:30, boys basketball in there 5:30 to 7:30.
We get out at 3, and the freshman girls practice is at 3:30 to 5:30. School gets out at 3 o'clock, and JV and varsity volleyball practices here 5:30 to 7:30, 5 days a week.
It is clear the needs of our students and athletes have grown beyond our current gym. The event center will serve our current students and provide a wonderful space for future generations of Sentinels. It will be used as reverent space to hold the sacred liturgy. And we will be able to host large school and community events on campus. We will have the facility to match our academic and athletic excellence. Athletics is a big part of our school history and our school life. Seton Catholic ranks in the top 10 most winning schools among all programs in Arizona. I know it is a big ask. I know this is a large project, but I believe with all my heart, it is what is necessary for Seton. Now is the time to invest in our present and our future.
A special night on the campus of Seton Catholic Senior Night as the red-hot third-ranked volleyball team goes for its 8th straight win. Good evening, everyone. I'm Joe Pequeno. So glad you can join us. Coach John Engelbert and the Sentinels flat out rolling in their current 7-match winning streak. They have not dropped a set. Last night, simply dazzling, a 3-set victory over the Odyssey Institute. Tonight, they welcome in Cicero Prep. This is what it's all about. It's for the region championship. Now coming up, we'll talk about the seniors playing their last home match as well as the big matchup. It's all coming up right here from John J. McMahon Gym on the campus of Seton Catholic on one destination, the Seton Catholic Sports Network.
athletics. So we are closing in about 2 minutes and 35 seconds or so before we start doing our thing. Sentinels, of course, led by head coach John Engelbert, who won a state title with the Sentinels back in 2016. And when we talk about this Sentinels team, and they've got so many key pieces, and they are playing at such a high level. When we look at on the digging side, Cole Erwiller, the senior, leads the squad with 113. Brady Pritchard, 97. On the assists, Lucas Cernerka, 224, not even close. Owen McElvey leading the team with 91 kills. And Robert Burns with a team high 77 digs. The Sentinels team is built well. They've got power on the outside. They got Jackson Heim in the middle. And they've got skill to work it from the back row with Brady Pritchard, who's outstanding on that back end, along with Cole Erwiller, to really be a tremendous libero punch. So for the Sentinels, as they continue to grind through the latter half of the season, and they are in the final stages. They've got Cicero Prep Academy, and then on Friday, Leading Edge Academy right here. And then they go to finish off the season at ALA Ironwood, and that's on April 28th at 4 p.m. So if you're wanting to watch these young men in action, and rightfully so you should, because they're in the state title conversation, the time is winding down. Now, of course, there'll be a high seed, so they should be able to get a match or two in right here at John J. McMahon Gym, and that is paramount because that allows them to stay right here on campus. They don't have to hop on a bus and venture to some other destination throughout Arizona. And that makes it so much easier to take that travel time out and not having to deal with a hostile environment in another arena. So now both sides are getting situated, and we're going to hear our starting lineups, and we'll take a short time out. More to come. And now we are going to get ready for the school prayer and the national anthem.
Dear Lord, thank you for this time. Thank you for the many opportunities you've given us in this time to gather in the spirit of competition. Please help these athletes and officials perform to the best of their abilities and keep them free from injury. St. Elizabeth Ann Seton, pray for us. In the name of the Father, Son, and Holy Spirit, please remain standing for the national anthem. by the AIA. They are Christina Anderson and Scott Anderson. Thank you both. Introducing our guests from Cicero, coached by Christine Fry. Now, we would like to announce the players, starting players, Max Hogan.
And we welcome you back to John J. McMahon Gym as Cicero Prep is being announced, and throughout the telecast tonight, we're going to have special guests, part of the Sentinels athletic departments, joining me. And right now on the mic is Jim Shoebridge, the athletic director for Seton Catholic. And Jim, so glad to have you on the mic, and your time here at Seton has evolved.
Yes, it has. I appreciate you having me on.
And now, from running the track program so successfully, and now moving on into the administrative side, I should say, and your thoughts on the challenges that you've gone through and taking over that role.
And there's a lot of great leadership that's been here. From Greg Buchanan taking over for him, and knowing that we're going into a new event center, there's a lot of great opportunities we're going to have. But rebuilding a lot of the things and trying to get the students involved, trying to introduce a lot of new things to the school. Really, what we're trying to achieve.
And Jim, you kind of talked about the event center. There's been a lot of time, effort, planning, of course, architectural designs, and a lot of the things behind the scenes that so many people don't see, but are constantly in the works, and a lot to be excited about with that event center. What's kind of the delivery date, and when can Sentinels fans expect that building to arrive?
Next week, next Wednesday, we're having a groundbreaking here that evening, and then once the kids are out, they're going to start demolition and construction. So the gym will stay, but the lobby and the wrestling room, they'll all go away, and they're saying about 16 to 18 months. So I would say going into the 2027 school year, we'll probably have it open and ready to go.
Then that is a tremendous endeavor along the way to get that project up and running. And as we can see, Sentinels having some fun on the court, and along the way, some footing, maybe not as good. And now they are about to have some fun as they shake the hands of Cicero Prep. And Jim, tonight is senior night for these young men, as we see 5 seniors being honored as their time on campus is winding down. You've seen several of these. What's the emotions like for these young men as they go through the process of being honored by their families and friends on a special night?
These guys were on the team last year that went to the semifinals, so they're really hyped up, and they had a lot of success this year, and they're ready for the playoffs, and I think they're gonna show up pretty well. We do have some competition out there with ALA West Foothills, #1, but I think they're gonna fare well, and I think they're gonna have a deep run again.
And here they are. They've won 7 matches in a row, and Jim, you can't ask for a team to be playing any better if they haven't dropped a set in the last 7 matches. What are you seeing from this team right now?
Just the confidence, the leadership. John Ingebert's done a tremendous job with these kids, getting them ready for every single game and everything thrown at them. So, with Damien and the transfers coming in, they're going to be ready for the next year as well. So they're growing. It's not just last year or this year, but it's a continuous improvement. So our freshman team's well, our JV team's well. So John's really building the program.
So Jim, give us kind of like the day-to-day, what your day is like. How early does it start, and when do you finally get to lay your head on a pillow?
Well, last night I went to bed at 10, and I got up at 3 a.m. this morning. So we had a track meet today. We're at Chandler High School. Jacob Flores, our part-time game day off, is over there helping out. So it all depends on the day, and right now, as the season's winding down, there's a lot more stuff going on because we have senior awards and graduation and all the other things that come with the athletics and the school administration.
So right now, both sides are on the court, and they're ready to get this one going. Senior night, Sentinels taking on Cicero Prep for the region championship. Outside, and Diego with a purpose. And Diego, Jim, from day one he stepped on this campus, has been tremendous athlete. Doesn't matter what sport he's suited up for.
Yep, and his brother, ahead of does just a tremendous job as well helping the team. So Diego's just following some footsteps of his brother. So he's doing a tremendous job for him.
So now the Sentinels on serve. Cicero Prep, outside hit, and that one is delivered high and hard by Alessandro de Los Santos. Knocks it home. So now it's Cicero Prep with the opportunity to go on the offensive end. 1-1 as we just saw Cole Erwiller checking out. Pritchard, and in that middle, that is blocked, kept alive by the Sentinels, knocked over by Pritchard. Now it's Cicero Prep on the attack. In the middle, and a miss hit. Jackson Heim in that middle. And along the way, when we look at a player like Jackson Heim, Jim, here's a young man who had to bide his time and wait out because of transferring and has made an instant impact. But what is that like for a young man who comes to Seton or a young lady and they have to wait their time and then eventually be part of the athletic program?
Yeah, it's a struggle, and I talked to the parents throughout the season, when they were coming over, like how much do we have to wait, what are we looking at? And they were very appreciative of the time and, preparing for these days now that you can get out there and play.
And Jackson Heim solidifies that middle, that tall, lanky, athletic body really plugs it in a big way. Cicero Prep on the receiving end, knocks it across. Seton with the answer in the back row, set up left side, and Diego high and hard, but it's returned by Cicero Prep. That's pushed over. Sentinels reading it perfectly, little dink over, and the dink is won by Grantham Smith in the middle. And Cicero Prep, a squad that believes they can win anywhere at any time, coming off a 3-set victory over Horizon Honors, and they roll in here on a 5-match winning streak. And how about Jackson Heim in the middle?
Yeah, and this is for region. The winner of this game is the region champ. So all the marbles right here. They got to pull it out.
Absolutely, and for John Engelbert and his team, and Jim, you've been and you've seen this situation before. For the Sentinels, the opportunity to win a championship literally on home court. What kind of emotions are running along the way and the excitement to have that opportunity?
It's very exciting across the board. We have all the programs this year making the playoffs. First time I've really known that, baseball, softball, basketball, both teams, girls and boys soccer, girls volleyball, they've all made the playoffs this year. I don't know the last time I've been here 13 years, I don't recall that ever happening. So the teams are doing well. It's really exciting. I'll go home and I'll put on the broadcast even when I leave early. So I still want to watch it and see what's going on.
So that is a tremendous kind of positive outlook on the Sentinels athletic programs. And look, if you're in the East Valley and you're looking for a great education and you're looking for a great location, why would you not want to come to Seton Catholic, Jim? You've got everything on campus. You've got the best educators, you got the best coaches, you got the best facilities. You're going to have the state-of-the-art facility being opened up in less than 2 years. It's pretty much, you're offering everything and then some.
Yep, it's a great time to be a Sentinel, and the future is bright. There's a lot of great things that are happening. And we just got everything everybody needs, getting ready for college.
Diego Kubisak on the serve. Cicero Prep knocks it over. Pritchard is there. Sonorka setting it up in the middle. Jackson Heim blocked to the net, and Jackson, a force, getting up like a champ, and the Sentinels now leading 7-2.
Yeah, so I had 4 boys that already graduated, and college is a breeze for them. First year, no problem, they love it. Walk right into stuff they've already done.
So this is good information, Jim. You had 4 boys that all went to Seton Catholic.
Yep.
Did they all play sports here?
All kinds of, like, we had soccer, we had basketball, we had pole vault, volleyball, cross country, track, all the games. They all played them all.
That's tremendous. So back in the day, you and the wife were constantly shuttling them around the valley on numerous club outings, weren't you?
Yes, we were.
Yeah, that's the fun. When your kids are playing outside the school, they're playing on the club circuit. You start your day early, whether it's a softball, baseball, or soccer fields, and you're closing down shop, and usually that Saturday could be anywhere from a 4 to 8 to 10 hour day.
Absolutely. And
yeah.
We've got 3 girls that will be coming up here in about 5 years. So
that is tremendous. And Jim, as we head toward the summer, of course, a lot to look forward to with this volleyball team. And as I kind of mentioned early, Jim, the Sentinels will play Leading Edge Academy on Friday, but for fans, an opportunity to catch this team. They're going to be a high seed to catch them right here in the playoffs.
Yep, next Friday. Right now we're the 3rd seed. So next Friday, I believe 6 p.m. John Jacob McMahon's Gymnasium. I mean, come out, be loud, support the boys.
And that is when the playoff opener will be, a week from Friday.
Yep.
Essentially. So they'll most likely be taking on a lower seed and have the opportunity to dazzle in front of the home crowd and then continue on their quest to potentially win it all. And the goal is to get to Veterans Memorial Coliseum. And Jim, just like how we saw with the women's team, they battled all kinds of adversity, injuries, and just a tremendous year for James Johnson and his squad.
Absolutely, yeah.
And good work in the middle by Cicero Prep. And Abe Barano was there.
A lot of those girls from that volleyball team just played the beach team, and it was the first time they'd made the playoffs from the beach volleyball team. So last year we had the singles, this year we had the team make it. So they did a great job. They played Arcadia, kind of a tough, playing a number 3 seed, but they had a great season.
So what are the chances, because I know you play beach at a facility in Chandler, what are the chances of getting a court here and being able to host those beach events here?
It's in the long-term plan. But right now we're focused on the event center, but they're looking at tennis, a beach volleyball, and even a swimming pool. So they're talking about all those in the future, but it could be a few years once we get this gym paid off.
Got it. And that's a blast by Alessandro De Los Santos. And it's a 10-6 Seton lead as John Engelbert comes out and just trying to calm the storm a little bit. Just keep his boys in a good place. And Owen showing his touch at the net. And you talk about a player, Jim, who has just blossomed. Here, Owen McElvey last year was part of the JV squad, got limited reps on the varsity, and now here he is, a totally different player. And how many times have you seen that in the course of 1 year where a player just turns it on the next level?
It happened. I mean, you look at Corey Edwards with football. Here he is backing up for Luke Aguilar. Luke gets injured, Corey comes in and just takes over from day one. So that's what we look for these. That's why we have the 3 levels. John's done a tremendous job getting these kids ready.
And as we head toward summer, Jim, how busy is the athletic department, of course, preparing for the fall and all the administrative duties, and of course corresponding with the Arizona Interscholastic Association to make sure everything is on point?
It doesn't end because we go straight into summer camp, start the last week of May, run all the way through the end of June, and then we have all the football starts.
And Diego with a blast from the outside.
So we'll get about a week off in July, but we start the process, registrations, all these things start off, and we start on a week earlier now that we're in region or 3A. They start a week before all the other 4A, 5A, 6A schools.
And Jim, when you talk about summer camp, kind of give us a view of what summer camp means for the athletes here at Seton Catholic.
I put that on Autumn's plate to talk about when she comes on, but it's tremendous. Karen's been running for many years. She gets a lot of the kids that will bring up to 30 to 40 kids will show up at her camps. John does a tremendous job. I mean, the girls volleyball has about 35, 40 kids show up. So it's a good, grassroots program. A lot of the, the feeder Catholic schools will come through and the kids will come up. It's a great job with our summer camps.
That's tremendous. So if they're, and I guess Autumn and I will touch more on that, but is there a way to sign up via the website?
Absolutely, yes. Go on our website, setoncatholic.org, under athletics, and then scroll down, it'll be on the sports summer camp program and a list of all the summer camps we have.
Got it. So many athletes on campus that have played multiple sports. And I gotta tell you, one of my favorites, Jim, is Brooke Zulaga, who I know personally. My daughter played with Brooke on the club circuit, and I'm a big fan of Javier, who is assistant coach on the football team. And all of a sudden, I hear that she's throwing the javelin like a champ.
So I've known her since she was born, and she threw 139 feet, 10 inches today, almost broke 140. So she's at Chandler High School, and then she drove all the way out to Globe. So they're at the Globe playing their softball game. So a multi-sport athlete on the same day. So,
I mean, Jim, have you ever seen someone like that who's, I mean, she's got limited javelin experience, and here she is all of a sudden now she's a force. I mean, she could literally do this in the collegiate level.
I was talking to her last year. I said, Brooke, just come over and try it. She's like, no, no, no. And the day she threw it, she smiled. She's like, I love this. So those opportunities, this kid's just got to give it a try.
Absolutely. And how big is that, Jim, with the campus, where you've got a lot of athletes on campus that maybe have always questioned whether they should come out for a sport or not, and they don't. I mean, what do you say to those kids about, look, give it a try. Try to go out and see if you enjoy it.
I've always gotten that the 10 years as a track coach. I always get the seniors. And they're like, oh, this is fun. He's like, why didn't you come out the first 3 years? But it's just, they need to come out and give everything a try. I mean, this is your high school. You only have one high school experience. So go out and try it. You know, you can always say, no, I didn't like it. But if you don't give it an opportunity, you'll never know what you missed.
Good back and forth, and the miss hit by Jacob Howell at the net. Sentinels with a 16-11 lead, and Brady Pritchard was a major factor in that volley going back and forth. Brady having a tremendous year, the junior, playing a pivotal role as the libero for this team. Little push on the outside. Sentinels keep it alive, and Kubisak is there. And Diego with the back row attack and blasting it for the winner. 17-11. As Robert Burns about to check back in, and Brock Steele checking out.
And Brock was at track meet today too. He was over at Chandler doing long jump and sprints. So literally at 11 o'clock today, he's over at Chandler High School. Now he is, 5 o'clock playing volleyball.
Brock, who also a force in the basketball team, track, volleyball. So here is a young man who does just about a little everything on campus.
Trying to get him on that football team. We've already been getting that marketing going. It's like, hey, come on out and give football a try.
Look, I call him Man of, as a man of steel all the time. That's my nickname for him. So there's no question. You look at Brock, he's got that linebacker size, right? You can put him on the outside for sure, as Diego gets it over. Worked in the middle, and Diego once again an answer. Sonerka and Diego. Cicero Prep blocked at the net by McElvey, and then going up strong, De Los Santos. 17-13. Cicero Prep coming into a hostile environment. A team that hasn't had much success, and this year under Coach Fry, who's led the women's squad to back-to-back state championships, taking over the men's squad for the first time and instantly making an impact. And Jim, how hard is that for a first-year coach to come in and have that kind of imprint and success that Coach Fry has had for Cicero Prep?
It's tough, especially like me leaving track and letting my new coach take over. I'm still a part of it. But living up to the, what they've done, like Coach Mullen, been here 39 years. A new softball coach comes in and got to live up to those expectations. So, sometimes you take on those opportunities and do the best with what you can, but sometimes you walk into a great opportunity, and I think she's doing a great job with the Cicero prep team.
And we talk about fantastic women's coaches, and when we talk about one of the best coaches ever in this state, the banner symbolizes how good she is and what she's meant to Seton and what she's meant for women's athletics as a whole, and Karen Self becoming the all-time winningest women's high school coach in the state as she continues her run here. And Jim, when you talk about Karen, and you've known Karen a long time, and what's it like to see the evolution of someone who played at Arizona State, stepped on the campus, and has just had such a dominating run for so long?
Yeah, she's so humble, so kind. She cares about everybody. She doesn't like the spotlight. She just feels it's part of her job. She loves the kids, and you know, she's active in the community with epilepsy, and that's something that's close to me because I was diagnosed 17 years ago with it. But here she is, you know, the all-time winningest coach in the state, and doesn't miss a beat. Still growing the program, still working with the kids, looking for those great opportunities.
She was actually here last night as they had an open run. They had the Worth sisters that were here. The Worth sisters led the team to state championship back in the day. They played collegiately, of course. A lot of the former players and current were here getting their run in and continuing to work. Sentinels now 4 points away from taking the first set with Owen McElvey on serve. And I had a chance to talk to Owen last night, and once again, another blast from De Los Santos. This Cicero Prep Academy team, Jim, I should say, they've got 12 seniors. So, look, they've all gone through the time, and they are united, and they're coming with a purpose, while for the Sentinels, they've got 5 departing seniors. And for John Engelbert, he's got a lot of great parts situated here for tremendous success for years to come. And that's the beauty of this program.
And you know, the Cicero Prep team, they want it just as bad as we do.
Absolutely. No quit. That is missed it on the back end. And knocked over by Brock Steele. Pushes it in the back row. That's off the rafters, and Cicero keeps it alive. Sonerka and Jackson Hine with the touch. And that's what I love, Jim. When you get a big guy who knows how to finesse it. It's not all about power in volleyball. Sometimes it's about touch and placement.
Absolutely.
And we saw Jackson with the perfect placement there, and there's a timeout on the floor. Sentinels with a 23-17 advantage, 2 points away from taking the first set.
I want to turn the tide on you for a second. Tell me about your experience. You went to Bakersfield and you were on ESPN3, ESPN Plus. Well, let's see, how did that go for you? It's a great experience. I mean,
yeah, I was on recently. I called Cal State Bakersfield in Hawaii, a 3-game set. A game on Friday, 2 on Saturday. I was scheduled just to do the Friday game, and they asked me if I could do both Saturday games. I'm like, absolutely. Yes. And it was a tremendous experience. And, you know, this week I'll be calling the GSAC baseball tournament over at Hohokam.
Nice.
So the goal ultimately is just continuing to call college athletics and high school athletics and just see where life takes me. And then in the course of Monday through Friday, I've got to pound the pavement as a commercial real estate broker. So it's a never-ending grind. But Jim, coming here to Seton and just having the ability just to call games and talk to athletes, it's a tremendous experience. It has been from day one, and it's something I look forward to all the time. And the Sentinels, point blank, 1 point away from taking the first set.
I was just going to say, your perseverance and hard work is truly an inspiration. You know, knowing what you've gone through and same things I've gone through, that I watch what you've done and how you're really developing as a broadcaster. And, you know, it's great being around you. I appreciate it.
And that is Jim Shoebridge, who's joining us for the first set. And Jim, you're always welcome back anytime.
I'll be teaching a sports business class this fall, so I'm going to reach out and have you come in. And
I've already said I'm open to coming in any Friday. You just let me know, give me a time slot, and I'll be there.
All right, appreciate it, Joe.
And that is Jim Shoebridge, the athletic director of Seton Catholic. The Sentinels take the first set 25-17. We'll take a short time out from John J. McMahon, Jim. And joining us shortly, and she's dying to be on the mic, is Jen Hutchison, but that's coming up a little later on in the show. It's going to be Autumn Kish, who's part of the athletic department. And Autumn is working her way this way as we speak. She's having a sidebar conversation with Jen Hutchison, and now the lovely Autumn Kish, who used to be the assistant athletic director over Cicero Prep. Now she's traded in her black and red for Seton red and gold, and she joins us now. And Autumn, you've been with the program now since a good portion of just a dabble of last fall, now here in the spring. And what's the transition been like for you?
It's been great. I think it's something that I've been used to. So I feel comfortable, but I'm still learning a lot about Seton and kind of learning the ways that Seton does things. So it's been good. Yeah, having a lot of fun.
And that being said, is it kind of almost ironic on a senior night for the Sentinels that your former employer, Cicero Prep, makes the trek over to play the Sentinels, and not just a match, but for the region title as well?
Yeah, it's kind of feels like it was meant to be almost. It was funny because when we were selecting senior nights, we weren't actually going to choose this game, but we had a schedule change, and this was the last one we could choose. And so we were like, well, I guess it's going to be Cicero. So it's fun for me just because Cicero just started their boys program. Last year was their first year as a program. So seeing a lot of these kids grow the way that they have has been really fun to watch. And then watching, Seton, who's had a really successful and long-term program, seeing, them play each other, it's fun. And 25-17, that's, close game to see them competing with each other. So
absolutely a very tight first set, and we've seen the power on both sides. Of course, Alessandro De Los Santos has been dynamic for Cicero Prep, and then in the middle we've seen Jackson Heim dominate, and on the outside as well as Diego Kubisak. And for you personally, and correct me if I'm wrong, we had this conversation, you went to Oregon State.
Yes.
Okay.
Yep, that's my alma
wow, how
mater.
about that recall? And and ladies and gentlemen, I've been up since 5 o'clock in the morning, so I still have a couple brain cells that are still working.
I'm glad you do, because I don't know if I do.
And that's courtesy of about 1,000 Diet Cokes that I drink in one day. So that being said, when you went to Oregon State, what did you major in that you wanted to get into the administration process of high school athletics?
Yeah, so I kind of had a different start. My major was in education, so I really wanted to be a teacher, which I ended up doing at my previous school, Cicero. So I taught there, and I ended up coaching, and the doors kind of opened for me to start working within athletics. And after kind of working in the admin side of athletics, I realized that was something I wanted to really pursue. And so, I kept working at Cicero for about 4 years and really wanted to grow and be at a bigger school and kind of get exposed to more sports. We don't get to have flag football teams at Cicero because it's a 1A school. We just didn't have the numbers. So I really wanted to come to a school that had a lot of offerings, and Seton just kind of fit the bill for that. So, yeah.
Seton checks all the boxes as they're off to a 2-0 advantage with Dominic Sierka on serve. And that being said, for you back in high school, you played soccer back in the day, and give us kind of an inside glance of what position you played. And no question, I think you were a baller back in the day.
I was, not a humble brag. So I played striker. I loved to score goals. I was, pretty tall for my position playing against girls, so I did well. My senior year, I received the Golden Boot Award, scored the most goals, and most of them were with my head. So a lot of set pieces. I scored more goals with my head than my foot my senior year. So
yeah. Well, they
fearless.
say a mind's a terrible thing to waste, right?
Exactly.
So
yeah.
that being said, Did you play soccer at Oregon State as well?
I did not play at Oregon State, so I played at JC in my city for about 2 years. I transferred to a D2, played there for a little bit, and then I transferred to Oregon State to finish out my college career.
Got it.
Yeah.
So how much fun did you have watching Willie Baker and the girls soccer team make the run to the finals?
It was awesome. I never got the chance to make it as far as they did in my high school career, and there really is just no feeling like it. I think high school is a really special season if you play club and then come play high school. High school is very different than club. Club kids you usually have known for, you know, a lot of seasons. High school is kind of like a mixture of random kids playing together, and it's a different game, but it's really fun, and it creates a different environment that you really don't get in the club seasons.
Tremendous energy from the Seton bench right now as they have doubled up Cicero Prep with the 4-2 advantage, and you can feel the emotions on this night. And Autumn, when the lead up, the build up to this, and now that you're here, you're feeling it. First, the Sentinels, of course, they're playing for the region title, and then you mix that with the emotions of senior night. What are you sensing and feeling from everything you've absorbed in the course of the day?
This is a lot. I was super excited to get to see senior night and see how they played. Getting to see, you know, the seniors all on the court, even to see Cole come out here on an injured, you know, ankle or foot, and getting to see him at least get a serve in, that was pretty awesome. I think that was, you can see how close these boys are. It seems like this team has spent a lot of time together, and they have a really, really good chemistry, and it's been fun to watch them, to see them get all excited for kind of our last home game, our last hurrah, you know.
So is there, as part of the staff and coming over, what has been some of the hurdles you've had to overcome? I know coming in the middle of the year and just trying to find your footing, but what are some of the things that you've had to kind of persevere through?
I think the biggest thing for me was something that's great about Seton that's been a challenge for me is honestly the availability of facilities. You know, on those nights where we have baseball and softball and volleyball all at the same time, you know, that was a challenge, just being able to manage all of that and feel like I have my footing right and know what to expect. So, but it's a challenge, but it's also amazing to watch. Just the Seton facilities are just so beautiful. I mean, you go out and you look at the baseball field, and I haven't seen a field like that. You know, the field is just immaculate. It's awesome.
And we kind of perused the subject when Jim Shoebridge was on the mic a short time ago. He talked about summer camp coming up, and he says you're running point on that, and you could give us everything we want to know about summer camp and then some.
Yeah.
And when I think summer camp, when I was a kid, I was thinking about, you know, hanging out, swimming all day, playing with my friends in the park, but this is not really what summer camp's all about.
It could be, you know. So summer camps, we have awesome summer camps offered for any kids. You don't have to be, you know, in Seton school enrolled. We have stuff for the elementary age kids. We have stuff for the middle schoolers, you know, up and coming Sentinels. It's a really great way to get introduced to the way sports work at Seton, getting to meet a lot of the head coaches for the current sports. If you are an up-and-coming 9th grader and you really want to get introduced to the basketball program, we're going to have, you know, some practices that you can join. We have the middle school programs where you get to get coached by the, you know, famous Karen Self. Lots of opportunities to get introduced to Seton and get comfortable with the way things go here, but also really just focus on getting better at your craft. We have, you know, some speed and agility camps that we're offering, which is a really cool opportunity for anyone who plays any sport. And so lots of offerings, all on our Seton website. You can check out all the camps, check them out there, our dates, but primarily held all in June. So we'll be busy here at Seton in June. Lots of stuff going on every single day.
And Autumn, is this kind of a heightened focus to really start reaching out to the feeder programs around Seton to develop those relationships, to get those next great athletes, or not just athletes, but those next great students and great people to come right here off Ray and Dobson Road?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, we have a lot of competition, obviously, and we want to show the kids that, you know, Seton is a place that they should consider. You know, we're entering that 3A division, but we want to show people that we are competitors and we are a good place to come play and compete. we fight just as hard as any other school, no matter our size. And so it's just a really good way to get connections with those younger kids. And a lot of our camps, we're going to have high schoolers helping out. It's a good way to see, you know, the kind of kids who you get to play with. We're going to be having a volleyball camp, boys volleyball camp, and a lot of our kids on the team are going to come help with that as well. So it's a big way to see how Seton runs and, you know, see the success of our athletes. In fact, next week we are going to be having our senior signing day, which is super exciting. We're going to be recognizing all those seniors.
What day is that?
May 1st, Thursday, May 1st at 3:30.
3:30 in the afternoon.
In the gym, yep.
Okay.
So that's going to be exciting. You know, we're going to have a bunch of athletes recognized who get to go move on and go play their sport after this chapter. So.
And you kind of talk about that, which I think is fantastic. And I think every school should do that. And I think schools should really promote that, because it's not just about the 4-year journey. It's about now having the opportunity to continue to follow the dream of playing collegiate athletics. And you've been in that situation. And what is that going to mean to the young men and women that are going to step on the stage and be honored for having the opportunity to play at the next level?
I think it just, you know, brings a whole different type of drive to be able to play college sports. You really have to love it. You really have to, you know, really want to play. It's a huge balance to be able to do athletics and pursue, you know, now the college level activity. And, you know, I think Seton's great because Seton's curriculum is already setting them up to do so well in the college style classes and, you know, the same rigor. And so I think a lot of these kids are going to be set up really well just from going to Seton and having that background to be able to succeed in the college classroom and also on the court.
And you kind of talk about Seton, not just on the athletic side, but the kind of education. And right now, Owen McElvey just educated Cicero Prep with a dynamic kill and has knotted this one at 10, right? Cicero Prep bringing the goods on the road. But we talk about the opportunities, but first and foremost for the young men and women that come to see the education alone speaks volumes about what they can accomplish here.
Yeah, and you know, academics comes first, and you know, it's a tough balance to be able to do both. And we have so many kids here that not only play one sport but play multiple sports, and then also have to still exceed in their academics to even be able to play. So it says a lot about these kids out here that are out here playing. You know, knowing that they're taking, you know, a few hours of their day every day to come out here and play their sport and dedicate this time to Seton. And
So since you have a familiarity, give us kind of a sense of this Cicero Prep volleyball team.
Oh man.
Under Kirsten Fry, and now here they are, and they're holding their own in the second set, tied at 11. To have 12 seniors, which is what they have. And Jackson Heim with the purpose in the middle, and the Seton Sentinels go back on top. But to see their evolution and for where you left off and now to see them play at such a high level, your thoughts on what they've accomplished in a short time?
It's honestly incredible. If you could have seen these boys when we didn't have a program, these kids would spend every free moment they had just playing volleyball. So at lunch, they would always bring a volleyball from home and be playing volleyball. And they begged Cicero Prep, Jacob Kelty, their AD over there, begged him to start a program. He's, you know, he has a strong background in volleyball, and they begged him for a program. And, you know, they were all juniors, and Jacob was a little bit nervous because he's like, man, what are we going to do your senior year when the entire team graduates? But to be able to see them to go from just playing at lunch to actually running plays and learning, you know, these different rotations and stuff, it's a whole different game than playing at lunch. And so being able to see them play at this level and be able to compete, especially with a team like Seton, it's actually incredible because majority of them don't play any club or don't really even have a background in volleyball, right? It was all just for fun for them, and now they get to actually play the game. So it's been awesome to watch.
And that's pretty amazing when you talk about, because a lot of volleyball players or soccer or baseball or softball, they play on the club circuit, so they have the extra advantage. They get the extra reps in the course of the week. So the fact that the Cicero team, a lot of the young men are just basically, they're playing on the sheer will and skill of their school time is pretty impressive along the way. For you, you're an athlete back in the day, and I know you never lose. And to this day, I played back in the day. I was a baseball player, pretty good. I could hold my own back in the day. You never lose the competitive edge.
No, I still play.
You still play soccer?
I play every week. I play in a co-ed league. I can't give it up. I can't stop being an athlete. I play in multiple sports for Scottsdale leagues just for fun, just because I love it so much. I coach. I don't think I'll ever stop being competitive.
You're coaching right now as well?
I'm taking a break from coaching right now, but I'm currently playing in a kickball league with friends and also a soccer league. So I'm busy when I have the free time.
Yeah, so last I checked, the kickball league draft is coming up.
Yeah.
And I have you as my #1 pick.
Thank you, I appreciate that.
So if you're my #1 pick, what can I expect from you? I expect you to deliver the goods.
I have the soccer background, so my kicking is immaculate. They don't expect it when they see a girl come up, and then, I know how to place the ball. Really good catcher. I really play shortstop, so that should tell you everything you need to know.
Do you play softball back in the day too?
I did. I didn't. It was actually my first sport, but I didn't love it. I like contact, and soccer and basketball was the two main sports. And unfortunately, they're the same season in high school, so I had to pick.
Yeah, you had to pick one or the other, and you love the physicality of soccer, right?
Yep, it's a lot, yeah. In basketball, I just fouled out all the time, so I couldn't tone it back. Soccer was the one for me.
How many times in your soccer's days did you maybe get away with a push-off and then nail a goal?
Well, I don't want to tell on myself, but yeah, a good amount of times, yeah.
Good amount of times, because it's all about positioning in soccer, right?
I mean, exactly. It's what the ref sees, and when it's one person versus 22 on the field, it's a little bit harder to see. So
now on the summer camps, is soccer part of the process?
Yes.
And will Billy be out there? Or?
Yeah, we'll have high school age camp and also a middle school age camp for soccer, so that'll be awesome to get out there. And we'll have, head boys and girls soccer coach out there, Billy, running everything, so it'll be a great way to get the kids involved. And we're going to have some varsity players helping out with the younger kids camp as well.
And because we know the weather is nuclear in the summertime.
It's going to be at night. It's going to be later in the day. So, it's still going to be hot. I don't want to say it won't be hot. It'll still be warm, but it's going to be late at night, more at 6 p.m., 6 to 7:30.
Yeah, and for the youngsters that come on campus and take part, do they get any kind of Seton memorabilia? Do they get any food, water, drinks?
We're definitely have water available for the kids, and we're going to try to work on getting something together for the camps. We haven't decided exactly what it's going to be, maybe a shirt or something, but we're going to try to get something together.
Yeah, that sounds tremendous, and of course that's on the Seton website.
Yes,
so they can...
Yep, all the links are on the website. We have a breakdown of every camp we offer, every date, every time, age group, everything you can expect, and if anyone ever has questions, they can always email me.
And your email accordingly?
akish, K-I-S-H, @SetonCatholic.org.
I thought it was aballer@SetonCatholic.org.
We could change it maybe. I'll have to get in contact with IT. I don't know. We'll see what we can do.
So with the camps coming up, do you, and the summer approaching, do you finally get to catch your breath a little bit?
You would think, but there's always preparing for the next season and the next season. I feel like even with spring right now, we're already thinking about, all right, for our fall meeting, what are we going to talk about with families? How can we make things better for Seton kids? Just always looking to improve in the next season. We're starting to do a spring wrap-up of what went well and what didn't go so well, and what can we do better on. So I feel like even when we're not even in the playoffs yet, we're already preparing for the next season, trying to get ahead of things as much as possible.
And what a great season it's been. All the teams in the postseason, and
and it's been really, really great. I mean, especially boys volleyball, we're going to be hosting because we're going to be a high seed. Right now, baseball is going to be a high seed, so we'll be hosting for baseball. And depending on how softball ends, we should be hosting the conference play-in for their game as well. So it looks pretty good.
Tremendous all the way around.
Yeah.
So a lot to look forward to on campus. And when you kind of talk about that, you know, for all the people that watch the live streams and sometimes they can't make it out, you know, for the volleyball side, the parents do get another couple opportunities. So it's,
yeah, exactly.
It's not like after Leading Edge Academy, which is on Friday, they'll have a couple playoff opportunities as well.
Yeah, and it's just, you know, to have that home advantage and be able to play on your home court, there's nothing really like it. I mean, especially, you know, getting to see, again, the baseball field. I think I'm a little biased, but man, every time I look at that field, it's just taken care of.
Gorgeous.
Yeah, it truly is.
Yeah.
So it'll be cool to get to host those games here. Those will be really big games.
Yeah, John Alejandro Field is tremendous, and it's just immaculate. Brian Stevenson and his team, it just looks like so well taken care of, pristine, great condition. And I mean, look, back in the day, I played on a high school field. I had a palm tree in left center. So that's the kind of field I play on.
Yeah.
Back in Gulfport, Florida, part of my Bogaciga high school days.
Yeah.
So, I mean, the fact that you go to these high school facilities like Seton and the fields are just gorgeous speaks volumes of the care and consideration for the athletes that get to play on them.
Yeah, and you know what? I will say too, when we watch, you know, after games and kids, you know, are out there, they're the ones cleaning up the field, taking care of everything. You know, it shows that they care too.
So here we are, final point, match point, or set point number 2 with Lucas Sonerka firing up. Cicero Prep trying to stay alive. And back row, good save by Sierka. And the lob just a little out of the reach of Diego Kubisak, and that keeps Cicero Prep alive. But still match point for Seton. Now they'll have to do it on the defensive end. On serve for Cicero Prep, Trip Cochran. Brock Steele, and Brock firing it up. And Seton gets it done. Brock banging on the left side, and they take the second set 25-19. Before I let the lovely Autumn Kish go, any final thoughts, anything you want to mention, or anything you're thinking about, any kind of disclosures that you've been holding back in the course of our limited conversations that you want to reveal to the entire universe right now?
I think I just want to, you know, thank the Seton family for kind of bringing me in and accepting me. Everyone's been really great and welcoming, and I'm just really excited to be a part of this program.
And, you know, I say that as you touch on something dear to my heart. It really is a special place. And when you come on this campus, you are treated like family. And so many people welcome you, and you become friends with so many parents and the students, and they appreciate you, and they care. You get to know them by name, and you develop these great relationships. And before I let you go, what has that been like for you in the early stages of your Seton time?
It makes a big difference, you know, because I was nervous coming into somewhere that, you know, you don't know anyone, and leaving Cicero, you know, I was there for 4 years. It felt like, you know, I had went through high school there, and to come somewhere new and just be able to feel comfortable right away. I can't thank Jim and Jen enough, you know, in the athletic program, and, you know, Victor Cerna for being supportive in everything we do. It's been really great. It's been an awesome opportunity to be here.
That is the lovely Autumn Kish, part of the excellent athletic program right here at Seton Catholic. And if you ever have any questions athletically, of course, you can email Autumn. And of course, if you have any kind of advice on how to be a star striker, she can provide those as well. Autumn Kish.
Thank you.
On the mic. And we'll take a short time out as Jasmine Woods, the dazzling trainer, will join us shortly. And right now, the Sentinels taking the second set 25-19. Short time out from Seton Catholic. Third set is about to get underway. Sentinels took the first set 25-17 and 25-19. Now a chance to close this one out and win the region title. And a special night, senior night, for the departing seniors, Diego Kubisak, Kyle Oppen, Jacob Howe, as well as Lucas Sonerka and Cole Erwiller. And we heard from Jim Shoebridge, we heard from Autumn Kish, and now we're going to hear from the lovely Jasmine Woods, trainer extraordinaire on campus, as well as the lovely Jen Hutchison, who is such a fixture in the Seton athletic department. And ladies, first off, tremendous to have you both here. And for Jasmine, I see you all over this campus. You're bouncing from point A to point B to point C. You're keeping these great Seton athletes in excellent condition. Tremendous job on your end always. And what are the challenges for you, just trying to handle so many athletes and of course, along the way, dealing with injuries as well?
I think, yeah, one of the biggest challenges is just like how many athletes we have, and there's only one of me, and so it gets a little complicated when we have double events going on, and I really do have to bounce from point A to point B and back and forth, making sure everyone is covered and everything is taken care of. Along with that, it's just making sure that we have like my end of the administrative duties done, keeping all the documentation up to date, examining the injuries, and then just like trying to find a balance of teaching and helping with the summer camps and covering all the games, everything like that.
So it's nonstop, and the golf cart has to be handy at all times.
At all times.
Now we bring in the lovely Jen Hutchison, who's been such a fixture for the Seton Catholic athletic program for such a long time. And Jen, your kids went to Seton, and Seton is in your blood. What has it meant to you to be part of this program for the longest time?
I started when my daughter was here as a freshman. She was a 2020 grad. Everybody that comes into Seton sort of becomes involved as a volunteer, and my volunteering turned into a job. It was a part-time job and then a full-time job, and it's been the best experience. It's my most favorite job. I went to school for accounting, but this is 1,000 times better.
Audrey played on the soccer team. She was an elite soccer player and pretty much an enforcer on the soccer field as well. As you kind of reflect back on Audrey's time and how physical and how dominating she was on the soccer field, what comes to mind?
Well, she's still the yellow card record holder. I don't know if we should be proud of that or not, but she is. She was very physical, very fast. Girls didn't realize it if they stepped in front of her when she was on a full charge to score. Played very clean game, but she was very physical. So we still laugh about it. We still watch old videos of her, and you know, it's kind of tough to watch sometimes, but she graduated 2020, went to the Ohio State, graduated last year in neuroscience, and now she's in grad school at the U of A.
Yeah, and I heard recently that she's earned 10 more yellow cards in her time at U of A as well, on the club circuit, right?
Yeah, she earned a spot on the club circuit just by using her high school greatest hits video, which I will not share publicly, but we've all seen it.
I know Paulo's quite proud of that video. He'll circulate it all the time. And
yeah.
Jasmine, back in the day, did you play sports?
Yeah, I grew up playing a little bit of everything. I ran cross country for a couple years, did track and field. I played soccer in high school, and I played cheer as well.
Are you originally from Arizona?
No, I grew up in Oklahoma, and then when I graduated high school, I went to University of Wyoming for my undergrad degree, and I got my graduate degree at Temple University in Philadelphia.
Wow.
Then I came out here.
So you have bounced everywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah, so what was it like going from, you know, Oklahoma, you get some cold weather, but then you go to Wyoming where you're essentially in Canada.
Yeah.
And then you go to the East Coast in Philadelphia where, look, I'm from New York City originally, and, you know, you get to winter weather there, cold, dismal, cloudy, rainy, 20-degree weather, then it's snow, and then there's slush everywhere.
Yeah.
How did you able to handle all the different moves in your line?
I think part of it is just that I love like having a new adventure. I love trying new things and being able to experience new places. I think one of the best ways to experience somewhere new is to move there. You're never gonna know if you truly like it unless you spend a long amount of time. So I'd never lived in a city, and so that's why I was like, grad school is only 2 years. If I hate it, I can leave. And it's just about being adaptable and about facing the changes kind of head on, which I have to do in this job anyway, so it was good training.
And that being said, you've been with Seton now for a good while, and what's the special part about you being on this campus and helping all these athletes and keeping them in good shape?
I don't know. I think...
Well, can I butt in? Because we just had to submit some stats of our athletes, and about 70% of our student body is an athlete. And when Jasmine says she handles that on her own, I mean, she's busy, but well organized. And a little shout out, today is Administrative Professionals Day, and Miss Jasmine found it within her heart to give us beautiful gifts, because she's very thoughtful, on top of taking care of everybody's injuries and rehab. I'll let you finish.
I think maybe the special part about me being here is that I get to grow with these athletes. So they're constantly teaching me new things about myself, as well as like I help them to figure out who they are through the process of like rehab and getting over injuries and those kind of like tough mental challenges that sometimes you don't always just face in normal academic settings.
Yeah, and that can be kind of like, when you get to that point, when an athlete's dealing not just with the physical, they're dealing with the mental. And sometimes that's harder to overcome than the physical. And how do you try to help them cope with that? Because that can be just as daunting as the physical rehab.
Yeah, a lot of times the mental aspect of getting back into a sport, especially after a major injury, or even when some of these athletes have their first injury, is one of the most challenging aspects. And I just help them. I go out to practices with them. I help them take it slow. I help them build that confidence back up through the rehab programs, through the half practices to full practices to back to full gameplay. And I just remind them it's a one day at a time. Not every day is going to feel exactly the same, and that's okay. Be honest with yourself, and it's okay to have a bad day.
Yeah, and we all have to grind through having bad days, and that's just part of life. You know, not every day is going to be roses and rainbows. Some days are clouds and thunder, and you got to be able to persevere through that. But the beautiful thing about you, Jim, when I see you on a day-to-day basis, I never see a frown that's upside down. I always see you with a big cheery smile, you know, joy in your face, a spirit, and you know, I think you embody what Seton is, the warmth, the friendliness, and how much does it mean to you to be a positive force for the athletes, the parents you interact with, and everyone on campus?
You know, it's really special, and nights like tonight, senior night, I get a little, we grow close to these kids over the 4 years. It's such a short period of time, and especially the athletes. And a lot of these families I've known since Audrey started kindergarten, and she's 23. So it's a lot of families we know, legacy families, athletes, their siblings are coming up. We know the freshmen that are coming in. And sometimes senior night, it's hard for us too. It's, you know, we get a little misty-eyed, but it's all part of it. I love it. It's a great experience, and these parents are terrific. They're involved. They care about their kids' education. They send them here for a reason. We're a small community, but we do a lot, and we have a lot going on. So
yeah, you do, and it starts. I mean, Jim talked about it, how his day started like 3 o'clock in the morning last night, and Jen and Jasmine, because athletic events are happening all day, kind of run us through what time you're up in the morning and what time you get to comfortably lay down and call it a night.
So my days are a little situational. If it's during like right now in the spring season, I usually come in at about 1 and I'm leaving at about 8:30 or 9. In the football, because our team practices in the morning, I'm here at 5 a.m. and I come in from like 5 to 7:30 and then I go home for a bit and then I'm back in at 1 until everyone else is gone and everything's done. So I have my athletic training duties, but then I also have my teaching duties. So I teach the sports medicine class here on campus, and then on top of that, next year we're starting a sports medicine club so we can get more kids involved in helping me on the sidelines and everything like that. And then I'm helping as well with the summer camps this summer during the strength and conditioning camp. I'll be running that for the 5th through 8th graders. So it's busy. I don't get a lot of sleep. I take very few days off because there's always something going on, but it's what I signed up for, and I knew that, and honestly, I love it.
And Jen, for you, give me kind of a glimpse of a busy day and what time the clock ticks.
It's the same. All of our stuff happens outside of school hours. Most of it does. I mean, a lot of my administrative work I get done during the day, but our events start at 3 p.m. and sometimes on Saturdays with our big track meets. So we do a good job of staggering our days. We'll have someone come in early, someone come in late. I always vote for the late shift, and I'm good at that one. But then we're here late at night. We never know. Football, we could be here till 11 o'clock at night.
Yeah.
I mean, football starts on Monday and it ends Saturday for Jasmine. So it's Sundays we're off. The campus is closed on Sundays, and we need it. And it goes by quickly those weekends. But we all help each other out. And the good part is if we have something going on, dentist appointment, doctor's appointment, stuff with kids, we all have families. Family first. Take care of yourself. Take care of your family. Come into work. So it's been a good experience, and the athletic director emeritus is here, Greg Buchanan, who hired me. He's watching the game, but he had the same kind of philosophy: take care of yourself, take care of your families, and do your work. And it's been good.
And essentially, with the athletes you've grown to love over the course of time, do they become essentially like extended family for you?
Yeah, I would say so. I think so, definitely. Yeah, and their families, and we get to know everybody, and we see them out, and we have our events, our gala. We have our golf tournament coming up on Friday, and I know I will see people that I have known for 20 years, in some capacity through school. It's a nice community, and it's special, and I'm very lucky to be here.
Well, ladies, it's always a pleasure and an honor. Jasmine, you're tremendous with all the athletes on campus, and you're everywhere. Every time I'm on this campus, I see you. So I know you have a humble abode somewhere, but something tells me there's some kind of living arrangement for you somewhere on campus.
There have been many times that I have accidentally referred to this as my home. I'm like, yeah, I'm going home. And my friend and roommate, she's like, Jasmine, you are home. I'm like, work? I'm at work. I'm going to work.
We have joked about setting up a little
Yeah, I'm like, I just sleep on the treatment table from there. I got my blankets. It's fine.
Well, you are tremendous, and Jen, I say this from the bottom of my heart. You've made me feel welcome from day one.
We like you, Joe. We hope you stay on.
You embody everything that's good about high school athletics, about people in general, and at times I have a tendency to lose my faith in people, but I can tell you what, I never lose my faith in you. I never lose my faith in the good people of Seton Catholic, and you guys are tremendous, and you are awesome, and a highly regarded team that keeps the athletic department moving. That is the lovely Jen Hutchison and Jasmine Woods, and Jasmine was tremendous. She didn't want to talk at all, but now she has been eloquent. She has been awesome, and now I see a big smile on her face because she passed the litmus test, and then some.
Passed.
There you go.
A+ for me.
I do. You know what? I got a little note in from the news desk that this team is going to be the last team playing in this gym for a couple of years. As you know, we're going to break ground on our new event center. The groundbreaking is Wednesday, April 30th at 5 o'clock. Our new home gym will be at Chandler Prep School.
For like the next 2 years or so?
2 years. So we won't see any, we're going to be able to practice in here, but we won't see any games in this gym.
And that'll be volleyball and basketball as well, correct?
Yep. Yes, that's correct.
Okay,
so for the next 2 years. So we're all gearing up for that. We have to pack up. We have to get everything out. One of our trophy cases out in the lobby is going to be my little pet project of taking care of those things, because we have about 40 years of history, and we're trying to figure out where everything's going to go. We have to move out all of our equipment. This building will stay put, and then not your building. Yeah, not your office. I mean, pretty much everything's got to go. We're trying to figure out where everyone's going to work for the next 2 years. Big shout out to Chandler Prep accommodating us. They've been amazing. In fact, all the schools around here have been amazing. We help each other out, and they no words to what they've done for us.
It's a small community of people that ultimately it's about helping your neighbor, right?
Absolutely, and we can't thank them enough, and so we're trying to figure out the logistics of playing home games over there, fitting in with their schedule. They have a busy schedule too. But we're hoping we'll see this big 75,000 square foot 2-story building coming in, and 3 new courts, double the capacity, new training room, new wrestling room,
it's going to be a state-of-the-art facility.
It'll be amazing.
And basically, ladies, when you get that, how much of a competitive advantage does that give Seton compared to other private schools, not just locally, but downtown as well?
I think it's gonna kick us up a few notches. You know, we have so much within the school. It's an old building. We've been building steadily over the years. Just adding air conditioning to this building. We renovated our locker rooms last year. We renovated the library, the historic campus, and then this is the next big thing. And it gets noticed. Our improvements are noticed. Our track and field facility, football field, people love it. We get so many compliments on it. And so I think it's only going to get better. We're going to be able to host all of our social events in there. School mass, we have all school mass in here currently. We'll be able to do that. We'll be able to, have other outside groups in here. But I'm going to wrap it up.
And that's going to be something to look forward to. That is Jen Hutchinson and Jasmine Woods. Ladies, thank you for being here. And the Sentinels take care of business, winning the region title in 3 sets over Cicero Prep, 25-16. Keep it here. You can see the young men, they're being honored by their parents in the stands with the fat heads, and now they'll shake hands with the Cicero Prep players as well, and tremendous smiles. But once again, Jen and Jasmine, this team is going to have some more home matches for families and friends to come to.
Yes. Oh, yeah. I don't know how many more we have.
2 more.
2 more.
2 more.
But who's counting?
Friday and then next Tuesday or something.
Well, then we're looking at
and then
playoffs. Yes. So I don't want to mess with the playoff thing, but maybe here Friday the 9th of May.
So mark it on your calendar, ladies and gentlemen. If you are on campus and you see the lovely Jasmine Woods, who's always worked with the athletes, don't be afraid to say hello. And Jasmine will get into a deep conversation with you because she's outgoing and wants to talk to her fellow Seton Nation out there.
I I will say hello and smile politely, but I'm probably on the run to somewhere else, so maybe not a deep conversation.
And the lovely Jen Hutchison will always say hello because that is what Jen is all about. Ladies, thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
Appreciate you as always. Jen.
Thanks.
And Jazz.
Thank you.
How about 3 J's right here? Wow, the triple J's.
Yeah.
Front row.
We should take this on the road.
And they're really, yeah, the band's all here. I could play maybe a little guitar or maybe a saxophone.
Yeah, we can tell some jokes.
I played the clarinet for a year.
Did you?
Yeah.
I actually played the church organ.
Wow.
A little.
We're ready.
A little tidbit about me.
Yeah.
I learned to play the organ. All my friends were playing the piano. I can play the church organ.
Yeah, so who's going to be our lead singer?
Jim.
Jen's going to have to belt it out. Okay, we can do that for sure. Well, we're going to take a short time out from John J. McMahon, Jim. That is the lovely Jasmine Woods, the lovely Jen Hutchison. I'm not lovely, but some people say I might be slightly okay looking. I'm Joe Pequeno. More to come from John J. McMahon, Jim. We'll hear from the seniors right here on senior night as the Sentinels are your 3A Metro champions, knocking off Cicero Prep Academy in 3 sets. Keep it right here on the Seton Catholic Sports Network. And we welcome you back to John J. McMahon Gym Senior Night as the Sentinels are the 3A Metro champions after knocking off Cicero Prep in 3 sets convincingly, joined by a departing senior, Cole Erwiller. And Cole, for you, special night, and what was it like on this senior night? So much emotions, and of course, the chance to win the region title as well.
Yeah, there was definitely a lot of emotions for me going into it. I got injured before my junior season last year and was out for the whole season. And then this year I played my first few games and then got injured again. I'm out for the whole season again. But yeah, I got to go out and serve one to start the game off, and that really meant a lot to me. It's hard to see it all go. All 5 of us have been here for the last 4 years, and we've seen really good players come and go, and it's a legacy that we've gotten to take with us the whole entire way, and we got 2 region champs to show for it. And we have to keep going, yeah.
And that being said, what has it meant to you to be part of the Seton volleyball team? And and John has run such a good team, and here's a player who played at Seton and now coaching. He won a state championship here, and now the legacy continues as every year this team has been a force. And what has that meant to you?
One word is family. That's what it really is. It's a brotherhood of just guys having fun. It's like no other sport, really. It's rough and tumble, but at the same time fun and loving. Like there's a perfect combination of everything. And just with the team that we've had for the last few years, just players that I've gotten to play with and players that I've seen come through the program, it's just been a gift and just an amazing opportunity to be a part of.
An amazing opportunity. And for you, I know that it has to be so many mixed emotions for you, because here is your senior year and you're thinking, okay, I'm healthy, I'm going to crush it, I'm going to have a great year, I'm going to be on that floor, I'm going to help us win the region title. And then so what's it been like for you to go through the emotional gauntlet of getting injured again and then having to be a spectator, and not your junior year, your final year?
It's definitely been a roller coaster, to say the least. There is a cool story with it, though. At the beginning of every season, I like to write a Bible verse on my shoes. And this year I chose Psalm 149, verse 4, before the season even started, and it goes, "For God delights in his people, he crowns the humble with victory." So it's just a really telling testament to how the season went. Like, I really came in wanting to be that guy, wanting to be the senior that carried the team to victory, but God had different plans for me. And it's a different kind of joy to be able to watch the guys enjoy the sport the way that I did in my last few years. And I had a senior poster out there with all my pictures on it from my past few years, and just getting to look on it has been a gift. And knowing that I put in the work and I got to a really great place, but just having the humility to realize that it's my time to sit and watch.
And along the way, you're the kind of person that is still so emotionally involved. And what is it like for you to continue to provide great leadership for not just your teammates, but for the next generation to come up and continue the legacy of this fine-oiled volleyball squad?
Yeah. When I was a freshman, I had guys that did the same thing to me. They took me under their wing and they said, "This is how you play volleyball. This is how you be a good teammate. This is how you be a good leader." And so as I came up through the years, and I said, this injury is not going to stop me from doing that to the other guys as well. That I was shown how to be a good leader, so I'm going to show them how to be a good leader, a good friend, a good teammate. And I just hope that they continue it, because John's made such a testament here. And it's only a gift for us to be able to give that gift back to him, as making good leaders in the team.
And that being said, the team wins the region championship. And how much did that mean for the squad to get that done, and as part of one of numerous goals, and to check the first box in the course of the season?
Yeah, that is a really, really big thing for our team coming into this year, because a lot of people don't know, but we have an extremely young team with half of our team being first-year varsity guys. And that's really different from the last 4 years of Seton volleyball, because we've had guys that are more seasoned that play club, but this year we have a whole bunch of brand new guys. So to give them the opportunity to feel what it feels like to win, and to really work hard and to put in all the effort and to come out on top with the region champ, that's something that's really cool, because that's something that I didn't have my freshman year and sophomore year, but something that we worked really, really hard for.
And for you personally, and now with the team, now it's the playoffs are right around the corner, and give us kind of a glimpse of what this team is capable of accomplishing.
I mean, man, you've seen it. Like, it's really rare to have triple blocks up in a high school game, but you see our man Jackson Heim in the middle. They have to block him with 3 players just to make sure he doesn't even get that ball over the net. So we have the skills and the capability with new and old players. You see it, we're working hard, we're diving all over the court, trying to get a hand on the ball. And something we really work on is always keeping the play centered on the court, always keeping the brotherhood in the court. So always patting each other on the back, always saying, good job, I got your back on the next play. And that's what's really going to take us the farthest, is because we're a really good, solid, and brotherhood squad, like on the court. Yeah.
And Cole, along the way, has it really kicked in yet that your time on campus is kind of winding down?
It's a lot of mixed emotions. Like being here at senior night, it's really emotional because this is what I'm losing. I'm losing my family, and I'm losing all the memories. Well, not losing, but keeping. But I'm also really excited. There's a lot of really, really good things ahead. And I know that God's really lightened the path forward, especially with this injury. It's kind of giving me the ability to say, like, okay, I'm leaving this behind, but I've got really good things ahead in the future.
There you go. That is Cole Erwiller, young man who's level-headed and ready to attack the next phase, along the way savoring his last moments suiting up for the Sentinels. Keep it locked and loaded. More to come from John J. McMahon Gym on the extended version of the Seton Catholic Sports Network. Class 5 celebrating senior night right here on the Seton Catholic Sports Network with a big region clinching victory over Cicero Prep. And Lucas, first off, what's the day like? All the emotions and of course senior night, and then having the ability to win the region title right here on home court.
Well, first off, it just feels good to win, you know, like come together as a team, win, especially as a senior. This is my second to last home game, my last like region game. So it was really fun to come out here, win, have a good day, and it was fun.
And you talk about the time winding down. Has it really kicked in yet that your time here at Seton is ticking away slowly but surely?
To be honest, not really. I'm excited for what's next, and I think this season's also going to go much farther than just this. I think we could have a good run in states, and I'm just looking forward to that. So.
And you kind of talk about this team has now won 8 matches in a row. You haven't dropped a set, playing dominating. What is making this team play at such a high level right now that you guys are right now pretty much an unstoppable force on the court?
Well, I would say first and foremost it's Coach John, and then second it's the team. Coach John is really pushing us. He's not like letting us win by little amounts and play down to the other teams. He's like really coaching us up, helping us go out there, pushing us to just dominate out there and make the other team scared to play us in playoffs. Because the way we look at these games, we want the other team to be like, uh-oh, we got to play them in playoffs now. So we want to like pretty much scare them off the court. And that's our goal every game, and that's how you dominate.
Absolutely, scare them off the court. You want to pose your picture? There we go, part of the live stream. So that being said, what is playing for John and the Seton program? What's that meant for you in your Seton career?
It's really been great. I came in thinking it was just going to be like a fun thing to do in the spring, like a fun sport. Play a sport every every semester, yeah. And then I came into volleyball thinking it would just be fun. And then we met Coach John, and the season started taking off, and we started winning games. And my junior and senior year, I was able to play varsity, and that has just meant a lot to me, playing for Coach John, playing with this jersey on. It's really been great. We're winning games, dominating, and yeah, it just feels good to be a part of a winning team and get that second region banner.
You know, for you, and you kind of talk about your evolution, and what's that like to kind of like go through the whole process? You've had to earn your playing time here, go through the JV program and prove that you're worth getting the varsity letter and worth getting the playing time. And how much has that meant to you to go through that process to earn your opportunity to play here at Seton?
Well, it's kind of different because I haven't played club my whole life because I'm a hockey player, but I haven't played club my whole life. So coming here, I knew that I was going to be behind other people who have played club. So it's like every day here, I push myself like as much as I possibly can because I know they're getting more reps outside of this gym that I don't get. So it's really just pushing myself in here, doing the best all the time, working on my serves constantly, setting constantly, and all that stuff.
And no question, the evolution of your game just continues to grow every time you're on the court. And that can be said for the team as well. You guys seem to be clicking at the right time. And as you head toward the final stages and where everything seems to be so on point with the team, how is this team different now than when you first stepped on the court in the first couple matches to start the year?
Well, to start the year, I think we obviously we weren't really a team yet. We had 2 new players who transferred here from St. Mary's.
Jackson
Heim and Damien. And then a lot of juniors that came up from JV, and then we had a lot of returning players, but it wasn't still a full team. And I think in the early parts of the season, newer players were scared to make mistakes, just scared kind of to be on the court. I know I was under like the bright lights with fans in the stands for these games. But as the season has gone on, they've gotten more comfortable, and we're just out there trying to have fun. And that's what we like look for. We're trying to have fun. We're trying to get everyone involved, celebrate every point, kind of just keep the tension off. And I think that's why we're clicking.
And a lot more left in the tank. How excited are you guys for the playoffs, which is right around the corner?
We're really excited. I think we can go far, definitely make a run. I think we could even win states if we all click at the right times and all play really well. It's going to be a really fun experience. We were there last year. We got knocked out in the semifinals, and I think this year we're going to go out there, we're going to have fun, and we're just going to pretty much roll through until the semifinals, and then it's going to be a fun game there and then a fun game in the championship, and I think we can pull it off.
There you go, Lucas Sinerka. He's promising some big things, and the way this team's playing right now, they can definitely back it up. Senior, winding down his time, and for a team that has a lot left in the tank. More to come from John J. McMahon, Jim, on the Seton Catholic Sports Network. Back to John J. McMahon Gym. The gym is slowly filtering out, but we got plenty of seniors that are still left here, and I'm joined by Kyle Alpin right now, and Kyle's senior night right here on campus, and of course, that mixed with the opportunity to win the region title. What was the emotions like for you heading into tonight's match?
I don't know. It was a big game. You know, we've been chasing a region title because we just won one last year, so we were looking to put another one to banner. It was a high-motion game. Finally get some seniors out there to play. I was very excited to play. I know a lot of our seniors were as well. You know, it was a big game, big win, and very excited.
And that being said, what is being part of the Seton volleyball team meant for you and your time here on campus?
Oh, it's just a family away from home. It's just a great group of guys. You know, I don't think I've really found a group of guys as great as this one. I really feel as we're a team, really feel like we're a family. It's just great. I feel like if anyone wants to join a team on the campus here, it should be Seton Boys Volleyball.
There you go, volleyball team. And look, plenty more volleyball left. You got Leading Edge Academy, and then you wind out on the road next week, and then the playoffs start. How exciting is it to see this team peaking at just the right time, right before the postseason?
Oh, very exciting. I mean, we lost to Northwest Christian. We're looking to get them back in the playoffs, so I think it's great that we're peaking sort of now, so then right when playoffs roll around, we're ready and we're hot, and we're ready to take on competition that's in front of us.
And it seems right now, no matter what the lineups are, everyone's just clicking on the court, and it seems what's really helping this team, everyone knows the roles and their defined roles, and everyone's executing in those positions.
It's just a testament to our great coaching, you know. Coach John, Coach Trevor, they've put us in a great situation to win, and we all know how each other play because we've done so much in practice. We've played a lot together, and we all click when we're out there just because of the testament, the work we do in practice.
So much energy for tonight's region championship, but for you personally as a senior, was there any thoughts about, wow, my time is slowly winding down here on campus?
I mean, I don't really like to think about it like that because, eventually the emotions get in and, start to get a little sad, a little nostalgic about all the stuff that's happened. But, yeah, it's just exciting the position we're in. And I want it to end on a high note, not a low note. So I'm just excited to see what's going to happen.
And that being said, how important is it for the team? You have 2 regular season matchups left. Leading Edge Academy first up on Friday, and then you finish on the road. To win these 2 matches and go into the playoffs on a potential 10-game match winning streak.
Yeah, it's very exciting. I mean, we were looking at a state championship this entire year, being bumped down to 3A as we were going far in the playoffs last year in 4A. So we're really excited to get these games out of the way, get a couple more W's right into the playoff time.
And before I let you go, what has it meant for you to be part of this campus and to be part of the brotherhood of volleyball, but just to be part of Seton as a collective whole, as a student, as an athlete in general?
Oh, it's just a great place to be. When I came to this school, I didn't know anybody. I went from a school that I didn't know anyone else coming here. And it's just been great. The campus is so inviting. Everyone is so inviting, but especially boys volleyball. We just have a great group of guys, like I've said before. Everyone's so inviting. Everybody just wants to be with each other. And, these guys, they're great. They're great people. And I think it's just a testament, again, to our great coaching. The coaches really make us better humans and better men as overall. So the team just sort of shows because of that.
There you go. That is Kyle Oppen, the senior who celebrated a region championship tonight with the squad beating Cicero Prep in 3 sets to run their match winning streak now up to 8. Kyle, congratulations.
Thank
He's
you,
a region champ, part of this high octane Seton team. More to come from John J. McMahon Gym on the Seton Catholic Sports Network.
Awesome. Thank you.
Diego Kubicak's about to check in, and something tells me I might be in a water pistol war going on right now. I see a water bottle. Owen McElvey is squirting it potentially in our direction. I'm fearing for my life over there. But Diego, first and foremost, how satisfying was it for you as a senior to win the region championship?
I think it was a great game. It was very satisfying. Beating them in 3, just like we said we'd do yesterday. And, yeah, fun game.
8 matches in a row, 8 wins. You guys haven't dropped a set. Talk about the level that this team has just risen to over the course of the last couple weeks.
Yeah, just hard work and dedication, I think. It's been great. We have 2 more games in the next week or so. And we just got to go and win those, make it 9 games in a row, or 10 games in a row, and then playoffs.
Yeah, last I checked, 8 + 2 is 10, and my basic math, and there we go.
Maybe, yeah.
Yeah, just don't carry the 1 there. So needs to say, for you personally, your parents walked you out tonight, and as your name was mentioned on senior night, what did that mean to you? What was going on through your head?
I think it's very meaningful. I remember when I was a freshman, my brother was a senior, and he walked out. It's overwhelming, the joy. There was actually a student section, like yesterday. And it was great. Very joyful.
That being said, so now as we are closing in on the playoffs, this team is playing so well. Give us kind of a glimpse of what this team can possibly accomplish in the postseason.
Our goal in playoffs is state. We have lost to 2 teams in 3 sets, and those 2 teams are first and second seed who we are under. Our goal is to beat them in the semifinals. I think we should do well up until the semifinals and have a hard-fought win against probably Northwest Christian.
Northwest Christian and then ALA West Foothills, the 2 squads you are referring to. In order to that to happen, Diego, give us kind of what you guys are going to have to do to get over the hump against those teams. And look, there's a lot of volleyball to be played. I mean, you got to be hungry. You can't go into any match complacent because, there's going to be lower seeds. They're going to look at Seton with the X on the chest and give you everything and then some.
Yeah. So, like you said, we can't be complacent with anything. We need to win these next 2 games to stay in the number 3 spot and then continue into playoffs. And we have good talent and everything. It's just staying consistent, I think, with on and off the court, really. Getting good sleep and everything before every game and just putting hard work in practice so it'll show in the games.
And before I let you go, Diego, just kind of give me your thoughts of your time winding down here on the campus of Seton Catholic. And, as you think about that, the special night here, region champs, what all comes to mind?
Nothing really. Just love playing volleyball. And had a fun night tonight.
Are you going to play at Mesa Community College?
I will try. Yeah.
There you go. That is Diego Kubasak, the high-flying outside hitter. He elevates and he dominates as the Sentinels are the 3A Metro champions, knocking off Cicero Prep in 3 sets. We'll wrap it up from Seton Catholic right after this. The senior, and then Jacob Howell, he was just rushing through the court, so we snagged him in and brought him in, got him locked in a chair. And Jacob, senior night, winning the region championship. Give us kind of the emotions leading up to this day.
Yeah, it's pretty exciting. This is our 2nd year in a row, and put in a lot of work to get here, and just happy to do it with some of my best friends.
And that being said, as you kind of winding down your Seton career, both as a student and as an athlete, when you think about that, what comes to mind?
It's kind of bittersweet, get to move on with my life, but I'm going to miss it. I'm just playing volleyball. It was a big part of my life.
Yeah, and what was the special part about playing volleyball for John Engelbert and this Seton team?
I think the relationships I made with this team. I've grown super close with these guys, and you're going to miss them moving on.
And that being said, guys are playing so well, riding an 8-match winning streak. You haven't dropped a set in that time. Give us kind of your thoughts of what is propelling this team to play so well down the final stretch.
I think it's the energy that we bring. We just get pretty excited after every point, and we just want to show off a little bit. So.
Yeah, and your thoughts of trying to capture these last 2 matches and then go into the playoffs on a 10-match winning streak.
Yeah, we want to try to get the highest seeds that we possibly can, get us in the best spot for playoffs.
There you go. And what would it mean for you to see the team have an opportunity to maybe play for it all and get to Veterans Memorial Coliseum downtown with a shot at hoisting the gold ball?
Yeah, it would mean a lot. Something we've been working towards all our years here, and it's been the main goal all season.
There you go. That is Jacob Howe, who managed to like run through our screen, and I dragged him in, and his mom's taking some pictures as we see. And best of luck to you, young man.
Thank you.
That's Jacob Howe. We're going to wrap up our special post-game coverage of senior night as the Sentinels now 3A Metro champions with the 3-set victory over Cicero Prep.